Good morning and welcome to our kitchen. I'm Gordy Galusha,
I'm Nancy Ostrich.
and today we're going to be making one pot beef stroganoff and Crescent blueberry cheesecake cover. It's supposed to be cherry, but I didn't have any cherries, so it's going to be blueberries. So we're going to send it over to Nancy. She's going to start.
Okay, well, this is our 220th program in case people need to send in for a recipe.
Okay.
So I am going to, the newspaper last week had in their recipe page 3 examples of one pot quick meal, and I thought one of them looked good, the beef stroganoff. And here's my one pot, but I do need one bowl eventually. So I'm going to start out with heating up about a tablespoon of olive oil, and sauteing 8 ounces of cremini mushrooms, which I have sliced. And some salt and pepper to taste. And this is my lemon pepper, which is salt-free, which I can get at Aldi's in Allendale. Not the easiest thing to find lemon pepper without some kind of salt attached to it. So in my one pot, I am cooking down and sauteing the 8 ounces of cremini mushrooms I have sliced. So while that's going on, Gordy, are you ready to continue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back to Gordy.
And today I'm going to make what it was supposed to be cherry cheesecake cobbler, but I have blueberries instead. What I have here, I have a tube of Crescent rolls, and I've taken 4 out and put them in my baking dish on the bottom. And you make sure you press all the seams together. And next I am going to cream 1.5 blocks of cream cheese, 1/4 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to mix that till it's nice and smooth. Okay. That looks like it's might be done.
That's a pretty colorful bowl you have there.
Isn't that beautiful? I have a set of 3. I got them for Christmas. And I'm a big fan of hers, and I have a few things that she's had, and I love them.
The Pioneer lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is all mixed well, nice and soft and smooth. So now I'm going to spread my cream cheese. I can unplug this, get it out of the way. And this I'm going to put on top of my Crescent rolls. This is 1.5 blocks of cream cheese, sugar and vanilla, My hands are clean to to do this. Okay. I'm going to spread this over the rolls. Oh, it spreads a lot better with a spatula. Okay. Make sure it's even in here. Okay. This is supposed to be cherry pie filling, but I only had blueberry, so I'm going to use that. And next I'm going to add a can of blueberry pie filling. Add this, smooth it out on top of the cream cheese. You can make this really with any kind of a pie filling. You can make it with strawberry and cherry, blueberry, which I have here. Now with a little luck, I got pie, I got cherry, I got blueberries on the towel. Hope it comes off. Okay. And I'm going to put the next 4 crescent rolls right on top of the blueberry filling. Stretch it out as much as you can. Well, that's not too bad. Okay. Okay, now I got a 1/4 cup of melted butter, and I'm going to put it on top of this. Okay, and I'm going to spread 1/4 cup of sugar on top. Then I'm going to put it in a 350 oven for 35 to 40 minutes, and when it's done, it will be golden brown on top. So give it a chance and try it and see what you think of it, and let us know how you like it. And back to Nancy.
Okay, I just opened up my chopped onion. The smell is right out pungent. So here's my 1 bowl, and here's my cooked down 8 ounces of cremini mushrooms and juice. I'm just going to set that aside. So in the same bowl, I melted 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine, and I am sauteing. I added small to a medium chopped onion and 2 cloves of minced garlic, and salt and pepper again to taste. This is going to have to cook down for a few minutes, so we'll break during that time because we don't want to watch onions just getting soft here. So we're going to break until the onions are ready to continue the recipe. Okay, I sauteed my onions, and I went a step ahead here because I'd only have to stop while the meat was cooking. But in my one pot, after I cooked the onions down, I added a pound of ground beef. However, you could substitute and use 1 pound of ground turkey. So there you can adjust this recipe to make it a little less calorie friendly or fat friendly, or if you love ground turkey. But I use the beef, and I have cooked that down, and I used 90 and 10% fat. So there's not too much juices in here, which will gives flavor to your recipe. So to my cooked ground beef and onion, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of paprika, and I found my paprika is all practically out, and I'm just going to pour in what I have left here to get some more of that. Now, you want to cook this down, stirring for a minute or two to get the flour, the bitter taste of flour, like you do when you make a cream sauce. You stir together the margarine, butter, and the flour for a minute or so. Okay, I'm going to need a 1/4 cup of dry white wine. Say that a few times fast. I keep vermouth, red and white, on hand all the time, and that's what I use. For me, it works. But if you keep white wine on hand, that's we need a 1/4 cup. We're going to add that to the mixture. And they say let it cook for a minute or so to take the alcohol out of the wine. If it's a concern for you. Next step is we need 4 cups of low sodium beef broth. Okay. Now, we're going to cook in the same pot 8 ounces of a pasta, a dried pasta. And the recipe quoted, person used rotini. You could use other fancy shapes of small pastas. And you just add it to, this is a 16-ounce box of pasta, which I can't believe that it's found something that's still the weight that we're used to. This, and then also to that, I'm going to add back in the mushrooms that we cooked earlier. Juice and all. We'll bring that up to a boil and simmer for, well, according to the package, the pasta takes 9 to 11 minutes, so I check, about after 9 minutes and see if your pasta is done. Well, we will break at this point while the pasta is cooking.
Oh, stop it. See?
Does it really matter if it's 7 ounces or?
Well,
Watch your leg,
to have a
Nancy.
package,
Yeah.
Okay.
these okay?
Okay, I kept checking my pasta as it simmered and stirring it until it got to the texture that I like the pasta. If you want it al dente, that's, whatever. So, it looked like in the beginning, I didn't measure the 8 ounces of pasta. And my husband looked at it and said, "You're sure you put enough pasta in it?" Well, when it all cooks down, the mixture it doesn't need any more liquid than it has now. And then if you're going to have leftovers, you know that pasta absorbs liquid overnight in the refrigerator. So I think I've got it pretty much liquid that I want left. So to finish it off and make it like stroganoff, I have 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. And I'm going to mix this into the beef and noodles. There is your 1 pot in 1 small bowl of beef stroganoff or turkey stroganoff. So when we come back, we're going to break, we'll come back at our table. Welcome back to our table. This is our 220th show. Today we made some comfort food because we're still filming in the cold winter here in the Berkshires. I made a 1-pot beef stroganoff. It could be a turkey stroganoff if that's what you prefer to use for ground meat. This is in a 1 pot except for a small bowl. It is a step-by-step recipe, but pretty easy to put together. And it just starts out with sauteing mushrooms and then taking them out and putting in that 1 bowl after they've been cooked down. Then adding in the 1 pot onion and garlic and cooking that down, and then adding your ground meat, either beef or turkey, cooking that through, and then sprinkling some flour on it to thicken up a gravy, and adding a little dry white wine. Cook that off. And then adding some beef broth and cooking your choice of noodles, and then you've got and then adding the mushrooms back in again and cooking it down to the noodles are cooked in your preference of yours. And there you have your 1-pot beef or turkey stroganoff. You can serve it with some crusty bread and a salad. And I think that's a pretty good cold day meal. And for dessert?
Sounds good. For dessert, I made today a Crescent blueberry cheesecake cobbler, and it's made with Crescent rolls. And there's a layer of Crescent rolls on the bottom, and then cream cheese and sugar and vanilla in the middle, and then the pie filling, whatever pie filling you want. You can have either blueberry or cherry. It's supposed to be cherry anyway. Blueberry, cherry, or strawberry in your on top of your rolls, and then on top of the cobbler, on top of the blueberries, I put another 4 Crescent rolls that I had squeezed the seams together and just laid them out on top of the blueberries, and I baked it for 40 minutes. And this is what it looks like. And to me, as it is, it's comfort food, like the beef stroganoff. And I hope you get a chance to try it. And this recipe is one of my favorites that I can make for cheesecake, like a cheesecake that everybody likes cheesecake. So if you'd like any of these recipes, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Dalton Community Cable, 151 Park Avenue, Dalton, Mass. 01226. And that's all from our studio today. And have a great day. Thank you.